Okay, hello guys, good evening, and welcome to our first session of our subject ICT 410. So our topic for this evening is about basic user interface. We are now on our module 1, chapter 1 of our class. So I welcome you all this evening to our very first session, and hopefully we can discuss about some things about basic user interface. Actually, the topic is has been discussed on your operating system subject, but since this is part of your networking and network administration class, so operating systems, we were going to revisit about the basic user interface. Okay. So first things first, what we're going to do this evening is we're going to have the lecture first, then we'll have the Q&A, and afterwards some announcements and changes to our classes. Okay. So the objectives for this evening are as follows. Number one, we're going to discuss the importance of basic user interface. Second, value the importance of basic user interface. And third, understand the basic concepts and structures of basic user interface. So before we go on, let me check lang some technicalities no of our PowerPoint presentation. No? Okay, sige. So in terms of what is GUI or graphical user interface? Actually, to give you an overview, this GUI or let's talk about UI, Anay. This facilitates communication between an application and its user by acting as an intermediary between them. So, gapatunga siya sa user and sa computer. So each application, including the operating system, is provided with a specific user interface for effective communication. So the purpose of your UI is to communicate between the end user, that is you, and your computer. And then the two basic functions of the user interface of an application is to take the inputs from the user and to provide an output to the users also. However, the types of input taken by the user interface and the type of output provided by the UI may vary from the application to another. Now, there are two classification of user interface. So the first one is your graphical user interface, which is what is pointing in your screen right now. So when you speak, and the other one is CLI or the command line user interface. When you speak about GUI or the graphical user interface, this refers to the type of user application or user of UI that enables the user to interact with the operating system by means of point and click operation. So it means to say that more than anything else, you are using your mouse pointer and you are navigating through the pixels of your screen. So GUI contains several icons representing pictorial representation of variables such as file, directory, or device. So that is an example of that is when you are going to start up your computer, and the first thing that you can see on your screen will be your desktop applications. So when we speak about your desktop applications, again, it's the first thing that you can see whenever you boot up your computer or your laptops. So ang una nyo nga makita sa Windows ninyo guys, nga kung i-start up ninyo yung laptop nyo or computer ninyo, so that is your desktop applications. And most of the time, your GUI interact between you and your computer. So the graphical icon, which provided in the UI, can be manipulated by the user using a suitable pointing device. So your pointing device usually is your mouse, no? Pero you can also do that through trackball, touchscreen, and light pen. So kung why kamot mouse, but you have your trackball or your touchscreen or your light pen, so it's still the same. So the other input devices like keyboard can also be manipulated the graphical user interface. Basta ginagamitan ninyo ka navigation key. However, most of the time, if you're using the keyboard, more or less, hindi GUI ang ginagamit ninyo guys, pero CLI. Okay. Now, there are advantages of GUI based on the operating system. So these advantages are as follows. Number one is that the GUI interface is easy to understand, and even the new users can operate on them on their own. So that's the main thing about graphical user interface, because it makes your life more easier compared to CLI. Whereas you're only using or navigating through your mouse pointer and maklik-klik lang gid kamo. So during our time, guys, it's very difficult because sang una, there's no Windows yet. So during 1996, 97, 98, orihe lang nagwa yung Windows 11. Ang GUI was introduced by, I think, by Microsoft. Pero hindi ang Microsoft ang nag-imbento ka GUI. Nag-ano lang Sanda lang yung pinakauna. They are the pioneer of introducing GUI in their operating system. So karang simpo nga to naghapos ang pangabuhi ka tao hay naimbento ang Windows. You may take this for granted, no? Pero during our time, nag-boot pa kami sa computer naman using the using the diskette. So those diskette are tama ka daw pwede mo panguyab bala. And ang screen namon is color green. So whenever you are going to boot up, you still have to boot up in PC-DOS. And PC-DOS is the top of the line operating system pa. So there's no Windows yet. And mahulat ka pa pira ka minutes kag makaboot up siya. So if you're going to use word processor, ang ginagamit ng word processor naman karang una, hindi siya why kami at Microsoft Word. Ang ginagamit naman is Word Star or Word Pro. So gagamit pa kami ka CLI and then nag-type pa kami sa keyboard. So you're very lucky right now because all you have to do is to turn on your computer or your laptop, and then automatically, if you're going to open your Microsoft Word, you can type easily, no, and print your documents. Pero during our time, we still have to memorize line by line. If you want to indent or to make title nga naka-center siya, so you have to click pa or several commands para nga mag-center ang document ninyo, ang sentence or ang header ka title. So all of those things are made possible through GUI. And as I've said, Microsoft Windows, during the introduction of Windows 11 or Windows 1.1, 1.11, that GUI was greatly appreciated. Kay maklik-klik ka na lang, hindi na ka na mag-boot up kag mag-type ka command sa screen ninyo. So who introduced GUI? Probably the first that introduced GUI was, there's a story behind that. The first thing that introduced GUI was Xerox company, ang photocopier nga Xerox bala. So ang natabo ko dato is that Bill Gates, which is the founder of Microsoft, and sino gani? Ang isa si Steve Jobs, ang CEO karang unang ka Macintosh, which is ang Macintosh do karon is your iPhone, your Apple computer. So what happened is nag-field trip sanda sa Palo Alto sa California, sa Silicon Valley, which is the headquarters of Xerox company. And then to yan nanda nakita ang application sa GUI kadang andang mouse. So sanda pa lang kada toy nagagamit during 1960s and 70s. Pero nauna ka launch ang Microsoft nga nakita na dahil ng application nga pwede nga possible ka GUI. So the first advantage for GUI is that it's easy to understand, no? Because all you have to do is to there's a thing about GUI, it's very user friendly. So you can start it on your own and make adjustments if ever, and use it on your own na. So the GUI interface, number 2, visually acknowledges and confirms each type of activities performed by the user. So like for example, when the user deletes a file in the Windows operating system, then the operating system asks for the confirmation before deleting it. So like GUI, it acknowledges and confirms each type of activity. So therefore, there's a robust work that you can do with GUI because it's extensible. So if I mean about extensible, it means saying flexible flexible siya in such a way that it can host different types of applications. And then if you are going to use that application, then you can do anything, no? So on that application, the Actually, the applications are very much endless when in terms of GUI. Okay, I think it's a representation of an object that you can see. Pero when you are going to click it, you can activate the program behind the icons. So that's the reason for number two advantage. And then the number three is the most important advantage. Why? Because the GUI interface enables the users to perform a number of tasks at the same time. So this is called multitasking. So this feature of operating system can accommodate two things at one time. So that is multitasking, and you can do several things at once. Basta makaya lang kay inyong RAM, kay inyong hard disk, kagiban pa nga kay inyong hardware. So all of those hosting actually today, the most advanced computers can do multitasking 10 times than the usual multitasking task in for 10 years, below 10 years, after 10 years, karang una pa. That is because the power of computing and through research and technology, we'll be able to produce mga SSDs and more powerful RAM on board with your laptop. So guys, may karang una, if may klase ako guys sa sa education, sa computer subject na sa una. Usually ginahambalan ko sanda when they graduate, the first thing that there are two things that they do, no? They must do kung makagraduate sanda sa mga estudyante kung nga taga-ed. Ang ginambal ko kadanda is ang first nandang imuon, mangita sanda do nobyo kag nobya. Kay kung magtudlo sanda, nagakalipat da sanda garalaon yung mga maestra mo. Kay tungod sa orobrakon balananda, kag masakag kasakuon. So kumeda nga minobyo kamo nobya para nga kung makaobrado kamo, ti mapakasaldo la kamo or makaano do lang. Ang ikadua nga suggestion ko kananda is to buy themselves laptops. Kay insa, as teachers, they need laptops to compute their grades, their student grades. And then there are applications by DepEd doon nga ginatao kananda. And then amo lang da ginagamit nanda mag-compute your grade. So gone are the days nga nagagamit pa yung maestra ka nagasulat pa sanda ka ng lesson plan nanda. Instead, gina-type do lang nanda sa keyboard. E kita nyo man iban bila magsulat si kwali man kag ang hindi maintindihan ang agi na. Di kon may laptop sanda guys, di ma-type lang sanda, and then they can still use the file, ang lesson plan nanda, karang nagdigad to, kay ti pwede nanda ma-open kag isla na nanda yung date na. So I told them, number one, mangita nobyo, nobya. Number two, they have to buy laptops, no? So that it will make their life easier. Okay, so let's go on. For your activity number one, guys, it's called Research 101. What you're going to do is to research on three-dimensional GUIs. May research niyo guys ha, so i-google nyo. And then what are its applications in software development in your own words. So you have to give a detailed example. So hindi nyo lang pagduruan na. Pira lang ka paragraph siguro guys, mga isa-dua ka paragraph, it's okay na. Basta nakasabat lang kamo sa pamangkot naton. So number two naman is that what are the layers of GUI based on Windows OS. So i-google nyo gid kay. And then you have to give the detailed example of this, of the layers of GUI. Ara nanda guys sa Google. And then in your own words, where does GUI fit in an operating system, and what are the challenges in making GUI? So you have to explain it in your own words. Okay, so clear? By the way, your activity one is placed also in our Google Classroom. I hope that you have logged in to our Google Classroom. Later on, I will show you some of the of our Google Classroom so that you can see kung ano gakatabo tuya kag kung ano yung mga himuon ninyo. So ang lang gid is what you're going to do guys is to log in perme sa inyong .edu accounts. I hope that there's no problem with your ISCOF.edu.ph accounts. So that because ang tanan-tanan ninyo dun guys nga grade naga-revolve lang sa Google Classroom ninyo. So later on, ipakita ko kaninyo ang components ka grading system naton. Para nga makasuit sa ninyo sa grades nga nakabutang tuya. So kay tungod nga tanan-tanan naga-revolve sa Google Classroom ang grade ninyo. That is why you ought to use gid ang inyo tinyo nga personal nga .edu account. So gin-assignan man kamo ka .edu account. Hindi pwede guys nga magpadala kamo ka assignment ninyo sa classmate ninyo. Kung himuon ninyo hindi inyo nga ngalan ang magredan. So ang magredanda is ana ang kana ka inyong classmate, it's not yours. So that is why when you are going to pass your assignments, your activity, make sure to it that you log into your Google accounts. So that the key there is your Google account, the .edu accounts. Okay, so that's only a reminder. Now, let's talk about command line interface or your CLI, and what is CLI? So basically, CLI is just the opposite of your GUI. Pero your command line interface is the type of UI or user interface that enables the users to interact with the operating system by issuing some specific commands. So instead nga nag-click-click lang kamo sa GUI, ang CLI naman siya, you're using commands sa keyboard. So most of the time, when you can compare, I think CLI is more prone or more used to Linux operating system other than Windows. Kaya sa Linux, di ba nag-scripting ka mo? Hindi ka mo guys ka-install ka application sa Linux kung hindi ninyo pag i-type ang command para sa installation. So medyo confusing, no? Pero ang good news is today may mga Linuxes doon nga daw pareho doon ka Microsoft Word na pwede ninyo ma-double click lang ang application kag ma-install. So daw exe file. I think ang duwa ka bilog na ang CentOS kag ang Zorin Linux. Ang Linux nga daw pareho gawa ang paggamit sa Windows. So kung gusto niyo mag-transition from Windows to Linux, ang unahon niyo gamiton is ang mga Linuxes nga nagaanggid gawa sa Microsoft Windows. So that hindi ka mo magsala or matingala kapag gamit ka da. So ang best transition is use Zorin Linux, ginaano ko da recommend. And because na-try ko doon mo. Kag ang isa is ang CentOS. So when the user enters the key, because gani ang keyboard ang permi ginagamit, that the line interpreter receive a command and that the software program that is responsible for receiving and processing the commands issued by the user. So after processing the command, there's a command line interpreter that interprets the command that you are going to type. So on the command prompt, what you're going to do is you're going to wait for a while and then the application will run. If there are errors, you have to type again. So mudaya disadvantage na. The disadvantage of CLI is that the user needs to remember a lot of codes or to interact with the operating system. So sa ulo ko nyo gid tanan nga code, tanan nga dang command nga dapat kung hindi siya mag-run. So therefore, these types of interfaces are not considered very user-friendly and opposite of your GUI. Sa GUI, tanan mga click-click ka na lang sa mouse. So diata na, kinanglan isauluhon mo gid command mo. Pero duro man gyapon guys, nagagamit ka Linux kay actually some companies use Linuxes because of their security properties. Kay ang Linux ninyo guys, hindi gawa pwede ma-hack or hindi ma-manipulate or ma-pirate. So although 75% of the population in our planet, in the planet Earth, use Windows, tama siya ka nami kag GUI, pero viruson gihapon tanay Microsoft Windows. Other than that, Linux has a strong security and wala siya gina-virus. So companies para hindi ang andang processes kag andang mga activity gagamit sa Linux. Okay. So may mga user-friendly na tanga yung Linux do karon nga daw Microsoft Windows man. Nga pwede kung ano ang ma-install ninyo sa Microsoft Windows, amo man pwede ninyo ma-install sa inyo nga guys. Pero don't worry guys, Windows is very much extensible and widely used na pagid. And hopefully on October 5, I think that is the launching of the new Windows, no? So ang tabayanan naton da guys, Windows 11 magwa na. So Windows 11 is actually the next big thing about Microsoft Windows, no? So kung magbakal ka mo laptop siguro next year, ang operating system ninyo Windows 11 na, hindi na Windows 10. Actually, medyo on my part, hindi ko gawa tama ka excited gid maskin bag-o siya. It's because nga kon bag-o gani ang operating system sa Microsoft, ang gakatabo is duro pa yung mga bug fixes, no? Duro pa yung mga sala-sala kag mga ano. So mahulat lang ko ka-update. So siguro next year na lang ko siguro tanang magamit ka Windows 11. Although nanamian man ko ka Windows 11, pero bull-on nanda duman yung start menu. Hindi duman di itsura ka Windows 11 guys, do pareho do ka Mac OS kag Linux nga ang ana nga command sa center na siya, ang center tile. Although naga-click-click ka man gyapon, pero daw yung sikwali, daw pareho daw yagwa na kada balik duman kamo guys sa Windows 11, Windows 8 na ang tsura niya sa center bala white start menu. So I don't know lang because amo din nakita ko sa interface niya, sana nga yung graphical user interface ka bag-o nga Windows, no, ang Windows 11. Pero siguro base may option man nga gusto nga ibutang gyapon ang start menu. So may option ang user. May end user may option nga kon gusto nanda ibalik liwat yung start menu. So kabay pa nga hindi da pagduraon lang. Okay. So for your activity number 2, guys, what you're going to do is you're going to refer to your CLI. What you're going to have is the pick collage, no? So you're going to make a pick collage of applications for the CLI and label them according to their function. So may use online and offline software. Actually, it's a word processor lang. And activity number 1 yun, the same man guys, no? So kung sa Microsoft Word din yung himuon, please convert it to PDF anay before you pass it, okay? Don't upload it immediately, pero convert your Word to PDF. So mapos mo lang guys mag-convert sa PDF. I-file save as lang ninyo, and then sa file type, sa dalom, pangitaan nyo lang PDF. Hindi nyo pag-save as Microsoft Word document. Save nyo siya as PDF. Then ang PDF nga amo day i-upload ninyo sa Google Classroom naton. Okay? Sige. Okay, so let's go to the code of the day, no? What is this code of the day? This code of the day, guys, is your recitation, and it is 10% of your grade. So by all means, we are not bound by CHED to check your attendance kahit gani pandemic bala. So I come up with the code of the day. Karang last time, di bala naga-ano kamo guys, sulat ka pangalan ka ano ninyo, something, you're writing something on our chat box for your attendance na, pero na-notice ko nga ginakopya kay Iban. Gina-notice ko Iban nagapasulat makaninyo ka mga ano ninyo comments sa chat box para lang sa attendance ninyo. Pero na-notice ko nga daw tama gid na siya ka ano gid kuri kag daw mabudlay mag-grade. So that is why I come up with the code of the day. So what you're going to do with the code of the day is to answer the question. Where? Sa Google Classroom ninyo karon, Borbay. After kadang session naton tulad. Ang iba ninyo nga classmate ninyo karang nagligad sa kaginang aga, nag-ano man dyan, may code of the day masanda. So inyo nga code is different from theirs. So para ma-identify ko kung diin ka mo nag-attend. Kung nag-attend ka mo kinang aga or nag-attend ka mo dukaron nga gabi. So the question is, what item am I holding during our first session? So amo man lang dyan, ano ko guys, no, ginakaptan ko. So this is a mug, no? This is a tea mug. Nagainom ako tea because bago lang ko kapanyapon, no? Sa ano naton. So I'm drinking tea with my tea mug. Okay? So your answer there for the code of the day ninyo later on will be tea mug. Okay, so I hope that nambal ko doon yung code of the day naton. So later on, after this session, go to your you wait for your code of the day there. You answer it in your Google Classroom so that you can have avail of the 10 points recitation, no? 10 points na siya sa inyong Okay, so after that, that your code of the day will be there from 7 p.m. do karon until 8 p.m. lang sa gabi. So may deadline. Yeah, deadline ninyo for attendance is 10 p.m. karon Borbay. So hasta la sa 10 p.m. So that's why after this, please log into your classroom and update for your answer the question there for the code of the day. Okay? Sige. So okay, sige to. So add Astra per Shapin Sham to the stars through knowledge. So that is my motto. Why dyan na-introduce sa ano naton sa pag yesterday. Why ko nabutang pag yesterday sa ano. So anyway, it's common knowledge man. Sige guys, thank you for attending the lecture right now. And hopefully may natunan kamo sa ano naton sa lecture, no? So ang lecture ninyo for this evening is similar to the lecture kag ginang aga. Although may gamay lang gid nga mga revisions kag mga kon ano. As I've said, I've seen people man no nga nag-attend kay inang aga nga nag-attend man tulad si Gemstone kag si I think kagina diya si ano man si Remark kung hindi ko magsala. Kagina nag-attend sandang aga. Pero ga-attend mo sanda tulad ng gabi. So it's okay man if you attend kaginang aga kag tulad ng gabi no, or isa lang guys, okay lang da kung isa lang i-attendan ninyo. So pili lang kamo kung either aga or hapon. Ginahimo naton dya because kalang last year or last sem ang iba nyo nga classmates hindi ka-attend ka session no. So kung example na kada kung naga sa mga barangay ka mga white signal di mabudlay gawa nga mag-travel pa kung gabi. So that's why mga last week kita aga para may pilian kamo kung din kamo ma-attend na. So kung mo may time ka mag-travel sa morning and then you go to your classmates may signal or sa Banwa and then there pwede ka mo kapangalase na at start ang klase natin kung aga at 9 a.m. Pero tulad ng gabi, there's no conflict. No, we're using the schedule that is given to us by Ma'am Alingalan and by okay. Ngagin post na sa dang ano naton sa School of Computer Studies kay Sage, si Sage amo man. So gin post ni Sage sa College of Computer Studies. To yan yung makita i-schedule ninyo. So kung ano ninyo guys, conflict yan kita sa third year. Pero gin arrange ko anda nga schedule gin ano ko gid nga Thursday aton gid nga schedule gid morning and sa gabi naman why naman it conflict aton gid ta nga schedule nga ano sa gabi 6:30. Do kita man lang balay nagapangalasi nga gabi mo. So okay man, white conflict sa ibang schedule. So I'm hoping that you can adjust to the new normal, no? Because the CHED mandated us to come up with a scheme to have a class nga online. So hindi pwede gina-monitor kita. So maybe in the future we'll have visitors to monitor us. Sino yung ma-monitor ka naton? Si Doc Alingalan because she's the dean of the of CCS and I think Dr. Garrido is going to join us. So kung mag-join sanda, just greet them guys ha. Just greet them good morning or good evening so that ang balon nanda medyo polite kita no. Naga-greet kita kananda. So because they're monitoring our online class. Sa iba nyo nga subject the same man. Oo. So I think they're going to monitor you kung nagapangalasi gid man yung mga teachers ninyo and kamo kung nag-attend gid man kamo ka online class naton. Okay, so sometimes you may please during our session so that you don't have a hard time logging into our lecture, please use your .edu account. So sigurado ako kada hindi do ka mo kanakon maglisensya nga masulod sa session. Hi, some of you are not using your .edu. So please guys, use your .edu accounts gid no. So that nga direkta na lang kamo sa dang naton sa dang Google Meet. Hindi na kamo mag-ask permission nga mag-enter pa. Okay, so let me share to you the contents of our Google Classroom so that you can see kung ano yaga katabo to ya sa Google Classroom naton. So this is our Google Classroom, no? Okay, sige. So this is our Google Classroom and it is ICT 410. And you are about 34 students pa lang yung naka-login, no? So if you can see your name here, batang balon dyan do kamo. Kung hindi nyo pa makita yung pangalan yung dia, it means nga wala pa kamo naka-sign in sa Google Classroom naton. So gina-encourage ko gid kamo nga mag-sign in sa Google Classroom naton because tanan ninyo nga grade diya do naga-revolve sa ano ninyo. Karang last sem usually ang activity lang naton ang naka-post day. Do karon ni attendance nyo diya inyong major examination diya man pati inyong quizzes. Which nga ang quiz nyo gali guys karuman at 10 o'clock sa aga. Every Friday no? Is i-check nyo yung Google Classroom ninyo. Nakabutang dali sa classwork. Diyan ko ibutang yung quiz ninyo. No? So, your quiz will start at 10 a.m. sa aga and it will end sa gabi at midnight. So, ang quiz ninyo, 10 items ng multiple choice. Do pareho man bala ka inyong it's similar to your midterm and final exam, although 10 items lang na multiple choice. So it's very easy. If you attend our session this evening or you read the module, sigurado ako masabtan ninyo ipamangkot kay ang tanan nga questions tuya sa module ninyo makita. So this is our classwork and kung makita nyo your course syllabus is here. If you're going to double click on this, your course syllabus will appear. So you can download your course syllabus or you can print this so that you'll have a hard copy, no? So to print, you have to click the print button here and then okay. So may print siya, i-print nyo, i-click nyo daya, ma-print na siya. Okay. So and then if you're up to download lang, you just click the arrow down key here, then click the download button and then isla nyo lang yung pangalan na. So naka-PDF na siya. So ano yung file name niya? You put there module 1 and then you can download this. Okay? In PDF. I'm sorry. Your naka-DOCX gali siya, naka-Microsoft Word. Ang naka-PDF gali ang inyo tanang module, no? Sorry. So this is your syllabus. Although pwede man nga PDF, instead of Microsoft Word, you can download this PDF. Maniaga ganito na guys ang PDF kay hindi siya ma-alter kung may virus flash drive ninyo. So that's the reason nga insa nga ginapo-convert ko sa PDF ang activity ninyo guys. Hey, para nga sometimes kung ma-notice ko, kung ma-notice man ninyo, kung mag-upload ka mo ka Microsoft Word ninyo, karang nagligad, kung isa hindi siya mag-appear no sa activity ninyo sa Google Classroom. The reason for that is kung kisa nag-alter siya mag-upload. So para hindi may matabo, dapat i-convert nyo sa PDF and then you have to upload it. Okay? Ang inyo naman tanang module is this one sa chapter 1. No? By the way, sa activity 1 and 2, dyan ninyo ipasa ang inyong activities. May 5 doon nga nakapasa. Okay, may 5 doon nga 3 na nakapasa sa activity number 2, may 5 sa activity number 1. So very good yun, no? Sa module 1, this is your module 1. So you have to click this, ang material, and then double click this. After double clicking this is your module, no? This is your chapter 1, this is your module 1. So this is from week 1, September 13 to 17, 2021. So I hope that you appreciate the appearance and of your module, ang aesthetics na, because spend time ko gid nga gin design ang module ninyo. So medyo mabudlay man maghimo ka module. Kag I hope that you enjoy the contents. Ang itsura niya bala kag ang sulod niya. Nga daw module man niya itsura na. So I hope that you can appreciate this. All of the things that you need to know are here. Lesson 1 to 2 and then activity 1, it's here already. And including the summary. The summary is renamed as synopsis. This is the summary of the And then the hyperlinks are here kung gusto nyo bisitahon sa internet. The video link sa YouTube kag ang mga author. So it's here already. So if you're going to print this, what you're going to do is to click print, no? So pareho kagina, no? Kainyo nga nga syllabus. Automatically you can print this sa internet cafe, or if you have printer at home, pwede nyo ma-print daya. Or pwede nyo i-download. So to download the module, you have to click this one. And then automatically pareho kada naka-PDF. So you rename this as module 1, no? And then click save. Pag click niyo nga save sa downloads ninyo, tuyada din na na save. Pero kung may flash drive ka mo, sa flash drive nyo i-save sa inyo tanang ang personal flash drive. So that is how are you going to download your modules, no? Our grades, for the grade naman, you can see here nga sa Google Classroom natin automatically mabutang ang grade ninyo. So as of now, why pa it grade. Pero kada semana, i-flash ko daya para ma-keep track ninyo yung overall grade ninyo. Para makita ninyo vlog guys. Yeah, overall grade ninyo guys. Ang why pa kamo abi kapasa ka activity ninyo, why ko pa mag-gradean, ano pa hindi niyo pa makita diya. Pero if you have your grade already, then you can have the tentative or overall grade here. You can see also dang karon ang inyong ang code of the day, no, sa recitation, that is 10% of your grade. Diyan makitaan nyo man diya pati ang quiz nga bulon ninyo tomorrow morning. So nakabutang din, naka-record all throughout. That is why ang hambal ko tanan-tanan ninyo guys nga activity kag sa Google Classroom do na butang. That is why gamita gid ninyo yung .edu account ninyo guys. Okay? Now for the for your grades, it is computed this way. You have your quiz, that is 20% of your grade. Recitation is 10%. Major examination is 40%. And activity ninyo is 30%. So the total is 100%. Okay, so this is your class settings. Now, I think that is all, no? For the presentation for your grades in the Google Classroom. So do you have any question about our activity kagina, ang gin-lecture ko, and then party sa Google Classroom? Do you have questions? Please, if you have questions or shout-outs, you can post it here sa chat box. Or, if you want to ask questions directly, you can tap down your microphone and speak up. Oh, again, the code of the day is TMAG. Okay. So, questions, guys? One thing that I would like you to discuss about is the frequency of your participation for your examination and other activities. Guys, we have a hard time computing your grade, and then we cannot compute your grade without any inputs. So to make things faster, please, like for example, mga examination, again, make attendance ibutang sa Google Classroom. To yan yung makasabton ang pamangkot sa code of the day. Sa Google Classroom karon Burbay, after ka-session naton. So bantayan ninyo sa ang code of the day, mag-answer, tuya sa Google Classroom. Tuya ninyo sabtan niya pamangkot. Ang grade ninyo gali guys, I mean kung sa mga exam ninyo bala, please take your examination on time so that mag-grade namon kamo lagi. So that is the hindrance why sometimes if you check your grade, you can see there on progress pa. Although you have 1 year to finish it, but please do not spend 1 year na. So luwas nga ginapabuhay ninyo yung grade ninyo. Ginahinder pa ninyo yung grades tana ka inyong mga classmates. Kaya ang iba ninyo tana nga classmates naga-comply tanda on time. And kamutin nyo nagapabilin pa nga wala ka comply. So ang kung kamo kada mangayo grade nga isa-isa, mabudlay da para kanamon kay ang registrar naga-confirm lang sa isa ka beses nga pagpasa ka grade sheet. So kung hindi man namon kamo matawan ka grade, mangakig mo kamo kanamon, hayti may mga scholarship kamo kag iban pa nga So to have a win-win solution, please on this subject, please comply it on time. Ang ninyo, ang activity ninyo kag ang inyong examination. Kay gin-design man namon daya para nga makaano kamo lagi, makasabat. So please comply lang sa ninyo. So amo mo lang da guys gusto ko ihambal. Now, pamangkot guys before we end our session so that I can activate the code of the day sa classroom ninyo. Okay, sige. If you don't have any more questions, sige Pat, hambal Pat. Oo.
Sir, about sa ako nga atong grade, kwan ng ligad lang ako ngayon napasa, sir. May grade pa ko kanimo biskan na late ako, iba ko ngayon napasa.
Sa ano nyo Pat, sa iba sa activity ninyo sa karang last sem lang gid. You have until second sem pa to comply. So before the start of second semester, if you cannot comply, then I'm sorry, I cannot give you a higher grade. Pero if you're going to comply late this sem or probably hindi nyo doon pagpabuton sa ano. Pwede gid. Pwede gid. So please comply sa ano ninyo. Ang about sa midterm exam kag sa final exam, kung way pa kamo kakuha, I think kinanglan schedule ko pa kamo. Kay hindi lang kamo ang dapat tingob nga sang ka ano lang ano bala. Mo gani da ang isa ko ka concern sa nga ipa ano ko gid sa instruction no sa office of the instruction kay dapat ang examination ninyo is isa lang ka beses nga tawan ka ano kung hindi ka mo kakuha one time I think isa lang ka beses nga dapat kung hindi ka mo pagita na kabuol mabuol gid ninyo kadang special examination kay amo da balayad ang rule naton sa ano ninyo student handbook mo. So sundon lang naton day Haiti mabudlay para kanaton ka so hindi lang man kaninyo guys mabudlay pati kanamon Haiti kinanglan pa namon maghimo liwat ka exam para lang gid kaninyo. So why do ko kada nagaano guys hindi nyo doon pag i-try liwat nga himuon day pauri-urihi ka mo pasa para makataas ka mo ka score. Hay hindi da mag-epekto kanakon hay lain nga link yung ginatao ko. So palihog lang kung may tendency padagani guro nga minusan ta kamo kung kapira ka mo magbuol ka exam. Di kung ginapa ko lang gid tanan nyo guys nga sa module nyo makita answer ninyo sabat sa dang nyo sa quizzes kag sa final exam. So butang balon gali kung hindi tinyo kasabat ka sa pamangkot naton sa exam, why tinyo gabasa ka module ninyo. So kung pwede lang basahon nyo gid yung module nyo. Hay tanan-tanan ninyo guys nga activity kag mga dibla questions activity pati yadang sabat sa pamangkot ninyo sa module nyo makita sa quizzes ninyo kag sa exam. Module man lang guys sa ginatamdan ko mo ka pagbuol ninyo ka exam. So araw pang hindi ninyo gid masabtan niya pamangkot. So please guys, amo lang da. Mike, para kung pwede man Mike, every Monday lang kami to nagpabalik sa eskwelahan. Pwede ka mo to ka-drop by kanakon sa opisina sa office no. Every Monday guys. Problema ko to sa eskwelahan ang signal ay mahina gid yung signal. So ang sa activity ninyo, pwede ninyo malantaw sa Google Classroom guys. Pakita ko ninyo. Pakita ko ninyo, Mike para nga hindi ka mo pwede man da nga sa internet yun lang lantawon activity ninyo nga hindi niyo makita bala ay dang nung comply ninyo sa subject ninyo. Hay pwede man kamo ka drop by kanakon pero mabuhayan guro kita hay mahina kita na internet to sa eskwelahan. Ipakita ko lang kaninyo kung paano. So dali lang. May gani may kay nagmamangkot ka kada para nga pwede man hindi lang kamo mag-adto sa eskwelahan ay ginabawal gid man mag-adto kamo tuya mo. So pero pwede kamo kadto tuya basta hindi lang kamo ma-social distancing lang kita. Galing yung problema ko as I've said ang signal no. May kita na signal to sa eskwelahan. Okay, so ang subject naton abi no IT electric karang nagliga diya. So IT electric ninyo daya guys nga subject. Ang obrahon ninyo guys, adto kamo di sa ang lantaw ko lang sa people. Kundi people ang ginaisa-isa. So then pangitaon ko di ngaran nyo. No example pag dato abi no kay Patrick abi no. I-click ko lang dad ang ngalan ni Patrick de. Then magwa do dayad ang maman-an nyo doon kung diin ang kulang. So, dya guys, lantawan nyo de mga activity, turned in, nang turned in nga dya, na ano na do dyan, na comply na doon. Ilan taon ninyo ang pula. So, diyaw, na amo day kulang ni Patrick na ang activity 13,
Ang busy na
activity
sir,
12.
no?
Oo, ang missing. Ang nakapula, basta ya pula lang. So, tanan nga pula nga daya guys, amo day kulang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 ano man lang yung kulang ni Patrick doon na.
Okay sir, okay
So,
sir.
amo da nyo kung paano i-check nga hindi do ka mo mag-add to kanakon sa eskwelahan. Lantawan lang yung pangalan nyo di sa people. Lantawan, okay, example na okay, Kier, abi no? Okay, so ya kulang ni Kier, 3 kabilog na dia. 13, 12, and 11. Na 3 lang ana kabilog na kulang. Okay, so amo da guys kung paano ninyo i-check yung kulang ninyong activity. So adto kamo sa IT Electric naton nga nga Google Classroom, adto kamo sa people, taglantawan nito yung pangalan nyo. So makita nyo gid ayan sa kung ano yung kulang kung sa isa ko naton. Or pwede sa grades. Makita daya detail gid na daya sa grades na diya no. Na. So kung makita nyo doon ang pula nga dya, dang dadi way ko pa dyan magridan. Ang done late nga daw ay da magridan pa. Pero okay data na. Iya kulang ta na ang nakapulagid. So makita nyo man di kung diin yung pangalan nyo no. Kag kung diin man niya kulang ninyo. Na. So kung mamat-amat ninyo daya ka-comply guys, naga-green man lang daya ang mga red nga daw. So i-comply nyo gid para before second semester maano dun ninyo guys. Matawan ta kamo ka appropriate nga grade. So may dyan
Yes,
tanang
sir.
classmate
Thank you, good sir.
Oo to. Kita nyo man di may dyan nga classmate nyo nga warat pula ho. Kita nyo di kay Jusel kag kay Gemstom. O lang tawan nyo wala tandat pula ho. Puro may grade na. So kung dyan nyo da makita guys kung ano kulang nyo pagid nga hindi do ka mo magpa-eskwelahan. Na. Ang kay Maui, na comply do ni Maui pa way ko pa siya matawan ka grade. Ang kay Maui nga dya puro pula daya kanang ligad. Paiti tulad kita ko naka-green doon tanan no. Kaya wala ko pa guys liwat gridan liwat. Kaya ginahulat ko pa kamo ang iba nyo nga classmates nga wala pa kapasa. Pero balikan ko da kag tawan ka grade si Maui kag ang iba na nga gid ang naka-green. Na matamaton ko lang da guys ka pang check Kaya gamatamat pa man kamo ka liwat ka grades ninyo. So, amo da guys kung paano nyo i-check ya ninyo ya grades ninyo ayaw ng activity nga wala ninyo ma-comply. Dang buligay bala kamo. Suggestion nila dang akon Ay ti mabudlay bala mag-eskwela tulad. Amo jay moon nyo every week kamo tingob kamo guys ka classmate ninyo. Tapos, para nga indit mabudlay, i-assignan nyo isa kag isa nyo ka-classmate ka mga activity sa iba nyo nga mga subjects. Tapos, manaan nyo doon kung ano imuon nyo sunod. Basta, tingob ka mo nga magkit-anay. Pero syempre, kung pamatyagan nyo anay, social distancing man kamo, dala ka mo alcohol kag face mask. Kung may hilanat kag hindi dumagdayon na. So, tingob kamo guys para ma-compare notes ninyo kung ano yung mga activity ninyo kag ang mga kina-comply ninyo sa subject para hindi kamo maurihi. So, grupo kamo tag 5, tag 6 nga kamang classmate ninyo. May mga contact number gid lang kamo guys fourth year. Guys, fourth year dubla kamo. Kinahanglan nyo man gyapon nga magkita-nay, di ba? Kay tungod sa thesis ninyo.
Yes, sir.
So, balaan nyo dun kung ano bot kombalon para nga why it may mabilin bala. Na grupo lang, grupo lang kag compare notes para hindi mabudlay, mag-comply ka activity. Hay hindi kamo doon magdinalok ka ninyo. Fourth year dubla kamo. Hindi importante kung taas or naba yung grade nyo. Hindi pataas-taas ya grade sa pangabuhi guys. Hindi pataas-taas grade ya pangabuhi. Na realize ko man nga amo kada hindi para maaram ya pangabuhi. Ya pangabuhi dang mayad nga relasyon sa isig katawon nyo kag dang may hangpon ka man bala sa ano ha. So hindi duro nga maaram nga wala trabaho tulad. Duro yung mga cum laude nga wala itubra. So hindi para maaram ya pangabuhi. Ang ano lang isang ginapangabay ko kaninyo guys. Buligay kamo nga hindi man ko bot ang balon nga dang tawaan yung gid ka kwarta ya classmate nyo hindi lain dato nga klase ka bulig iabot ko ang balon.
Salamat kung amo na sir eh.
Oo, insindihan nyo da kung ano bot ko ang balon Yan pangabuhi guys diskarte hindi it param-aram. So hindi kinanglan nga makagraduate kag cum laude para nga ano hindi tamo da. Although mayad gid kun cum laude ka pero daw hindi man it amo kadagid ya pangabuhi. Marealisar nyo da kung sa sagwa do kamo nga wala kamo dug eskwela. Pero tulad nga eskwela kamo, I think buligay. Para bala pagkitanay nyo sorry, himay hangpon man bala kamo ho. Na nga pagkitanay nyo mag-reunion kamo pira ka red horse ya maubos nyo. Pira ka kaha nga red horse ya
Pusa.
naintindihan nyo madaguro kung ano yung botang balon Ang siyempre buligay kag ano hay para mayad man bala na. So amo lang da guys last words ko guro no kag kung may dyan pa kamo nga problema just direct message me or inquire kung ano I'll find time para magsabat ka mga pamangkot nyo or kung ano yung mabulig ko kaninyo. In the meantime siguro guys, I have to end our session so that I can post the code of the day sa sa classroom ninyo. So dukaron salamat gid kabay pa next mag-attend man kamo gyapon sa the same time sa klase naton. Kung hindi ka mo ka-attend sa aga okay man attend ka mo gabi amo yung oras 6:30. So salamat gid hindi ta palawigon doon lawig doon. I-post ko daya ang session naton so that kung may ano ninyo ang iban nga hindi ka-attend man makita nanda kung ano yung lecture naton sa ano. So ang isa ka session is active already in YouTube and i-upload ko lang daya. Sige, thank you gid guys. Salamat gid. Shout out kaninyo tanan. Okay, so shout out lang diyan sa kay Cherry Pie, kay James Tom, kay Ina si James Tom nag-attend man sa morning. James, thank you for attending this evening man. John Michael, thank you Mike. Kier, good evening Kier, thank you. Krisa, si Krisa nag-attend man kagina no. Si Mary Joselle, thank you. Nika, Patrick, si Raden, Rachel, thank you Rachel. Si Raden, thank you gito sa pag-attend. Sa sunod to, attend ka man gyapon ha. So, medyo nahidlaw mata kay Raden no. So buhay taman way man no si Raden. Sina Rose, thank you. And sila May. So thank you good guys sa pag-attend ka klase ninyo tulad. And hopefully next meeting maka-attend man kamo gyapon sa klase naton. So, stop ko ng recording. And then, pwede